In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone. So happy to have you here with me on ABC News Radio KMET. Also, huge shout out to our viewers and listeners out there on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, live stream. Thank you guys so much. Continue on with the comments, the likes, the shares, the reshares, the retweets. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I kind of talked about this in the beginning of the show. Life might have been going great for us. Let's say around January. New year, we got some plans, and then COVID-19 hit and it just kind of rocked our world. Many in the business world have been dealt blows to their businesses and many challenges out there. It's a very, very tough time. And no doubt, if you're in business, you probably are thinking, what should I do next? Is this going to correct itself so that I can get back to the matter of hand? My next guest is going to talk about when she was faced with the collapse of her company, how she flipped the script. And I'm so happy right now to have this very special guest with me. What she's doing is something amazing. I wanted to bring her on so that my listeners, my audience, can hear her incredible story. Emma Rose Cohen, welcome to the show. How are you, my dear?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Emma, you have an incredible story. And first, your first, entrepreneurial crack was a success. It got the attention of the Kardashians, so it was pretty cool. So before we talk about your rise to entrepreneurial stardom, let's talk about how it all started. What made you want to become an entrepreneur in the first place?
Well, it's funny because, I never planned on being an entrepreneur. It wasn't really a career path that I ever considered, but I never liked having a boss ever. So I think that it was really the only alternative in order for me to, be working in a way where I can really flourish. But I guess, when I really look back, it's I've always had my own hustles and, starting when I was 7 years old, just collecting fallen fruit from all the neighbors' yards and then selling that at the farmer's market. So there's kind of always been this desire to create my own thing and to do it on my terms. And now it's actually official. So that's exciting.
That is so cool. You kind of sound like me. I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I like to do my own thing. And I know some of my bosses in the media field are probably getting ticked off right now, but just saying, you know what I mean? That's who we are. Yeah. We're hustlers. We work exactly. We work best when we can get our hustle on and let the creativity and the juices go right there. Now talk about why did you create FinalStraw in the first place, and how was it when you got the attention of the megastar royal family of entertainment?
So I created FinalStraw in April of 2018. Well, that's when we launched on Kickstarter. And basically, if you haven't seen the FinalStraw, it's a reusable, collapsible straw that fits right on your keychain. And so it just pops out like that. And it comes with a little telescoping cleaning brush so you can clean it on the go, and then this nice little handy keychain attachment. So before FinalStraw, there were no portable straws on the market. The only straws that were out there that were reusable were really bulky and hard to carry with you. So that's why we made the product, to make it so that it would actually be convenient to use a reusable straw when you're out and about. And I guess the idea really resonated with people because when we launched on Kickstarter, the campaign went viral and we ended up raising $2 million. Since then, it's just been a total wild ride, and getting the Kardashian seal of approval was huge. I mean, it's kind of, one of the most validating moments in creating this product, to hear that people who have access to literally any products out there chose ours. So it was very exciting. And, I always say, though, that, like, yes, it is. So it's obviously, an extra special pat on the back when we get a celebrity like that giving us those kind of shout outs. But, it's also equally as exciting when I see, a mom write us about how her daughter went and did a school presentation about FinalStraw. And so it's like, yes, celebrities have a really big platform, but we all have our own individual platforms. And I think it's really important to remember that no matter what the size of your platform, use it for good.
Now, Emma, this is what I like about what you just said. Technology now exists, now that ones can see this amazing product. Let's face it, when we're startup companies, we really don't have the revenue enough to do the advertisement and things like that. But talk about how you use social media and the technology out there to spread the word about this amazing piece of innovation, because I think that's really incredible.
Yeah. So, it's like, the thing about straws is that we kind of have, or at least, this movement towards living a more sustainable life. I think most people out there at this point know that plastic pollution is a problem, and a lot of people out there are now really actively looking for solutions. So you have social media as this way to spread information, to help each other, to work together, to provide tips and tricks for reducing your waste. It just so happens that FinalStraw is incredibly cute. It looks super good on your keychain, and people just love spreading it. So we get, a ton of people posting videos like that of whipping it out, showing it to friends. And it's one of those things, when you have a product like this, you want to talk about it a lot, because it's showing that you align with this movement towards reducing waste and helping the earth. And I think more and more people are using their platforms to really spread what they believe in. And so our customer base, obviously, they're big fans of the earth. It's like our one home, the one place we get to live. So, why not protect it? And so that message really resonates with them, and then they want to spread it, and then it just catches like wildfire, and everyone's kind of talking about what they are doing, how they're doing their part.
And you're probably too young to remember this commercial, but back in the days, it was a shampoo company called Wella Boston, right? And the commercial went, and I told two friends, and they told two friends, and so on and so on and so on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Emma, Google it. They have the commercial online. But it just shows how word of mouth is just so just beneficial now with social media. And you bring up a very good point, and I'm so glad at the innovation that went behind the FinalStraw. Tell you a funny story. A couple of months ago, I bought some reusable stainless steel straws. Guess where they're at, Emma? Still in the back.
Yeah, they probably haven't been used.
No, if I had a cute little, container like that, it would be on my person wherever I went. I could go. And you brought up a very good point about the environment and loving the environment. Here we are, COVID-19. And Emma, it seems like the earth is telling us to go back to basics the way it was many years ago, taking care of the environment. Hence, we're running out of toilet paper. COVID-19. You had some challenges when it comes to FinalStraw. How did you reinvent yourself now to not only be innovative in your thinking, but now even helping out the environment? Please tell that story.
So, everything that I do, I put through the same filter. How is this a product that people are going to use? And is this solving a problem? So I've been working on a travel fork design for over a year now, and getting very close to releasing it. And obviously the world has completely shifted, and the needs of people on their day-to-day are very different. We're not traveling like we were, and we aren't doing these activities where bringing, a straw with us is as important, because we're all sheltering in place and doing our part in that way. So I was stuck in this really interesting place of needing to, obviously keep going with the business, keep building it, keep all of my employees, paid, which means generating revenue. And so I decided to pivot, and I was looking at what are things that people are using right now? What are the needs of society right now? And then also, like, what are the lasting effects of COVID-19 on society? How is this going to shift how we operate on a day-to-day? And, I personally have been sanitizing surfaces way more than I ever have in my whole life. And so I believe that will be a lasting effect. And so, looking at that practice and thinking, what could we do to make this activity of sanitizing more sustainable? And that's where we came up with Final Wipe. So Final Wipe can be used either wet or dry. When used dry, it replaces paper towels, paper napkins, and even toilet paper if you have a bidet or use it for number one, ladies, and which is awesome. And I highly recommend a bidet if you guys haven't done that COVID-19 upgrade yet. Additionally, you can add our sanitizing solution to Final Wipe and use it just like a sanitizing wipe. And it comes in an at-home and travel container. So you have one on your kitchen counter. And then I also keep one in my purse so I can use it on the go. And it's currently up on Kickstarter.
Something amazing happened when you put it up on Kickstarter. Now, you being modest right now. So I want you to take this time to give yourself some props, to gloat, and talk about the love that your followers have for you and your movement. Because what happened after a short while of being on Kickstarter?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I put this project out there without any expectations, and, it's something that I would use personally, but I wasn't 100% sure if it was something that other people are going to use. And, we put the whole campaign together really quickly. It took us about 10 days to put it together. So, it was kind of a moonshot, but within 8 hours, we surpassed our funding goal of $50,000 and have raised over $170,000 at this point. And this is just because people like the idea, they like the idea of using less and want to support our company. So it's really amazing. And we're so grateful to have such an incredible audience that we work with and people who really spread the mission.
And you know what I like about it too, Emma, is that during this pandemic, no doubt that you had to switch your focus when it comes to being an entrepreneur, eco CEO, and you came up with these wipes. You give hope to ones out there who may be at home sitting and wondering, wow, I might have lost my job here, lost my job there, but they have these incredible ideas like you. And Emma, what kind of advice would you give ones out there who may be kind of frustrated, who maybe kind of feel that the moment is too big for them dealing with this pandemic? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I feel that because there's definitely days where I wake up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening right now. I think that for me, really what keeps me going is just knowing that there's one person out there that cares about what I'm doing. And so, it just imagining that one person loving what we're doing, loving the products that we're working on is so great, because no matter what, you're going to release anything out into the world, there's going to be so many haters, and especially, with people being able to kind of hide behind the cloak of the internet, there's so many people out there that are going to say, what you're doing isn't worth it, and, you should quit and whatever. So I always just imagine this one person cheering me on. And they're out there. There's always, if the idea that you have is something that you love and you believe in, then there's definitely one other person out there that would feel the same way. So really create that person in your mind and make sure they're always there to give you a high five and any accomplishment. And so it's not just about celebrating big wins. It's what are the little things that we're celebrating today? And, whether it's something really simple or something big, it doesn't matter, because you just got to keep that energy going and that power flowing to keep the wheels turning.
I love it, Emma. And just two more questions I want to ask you. I know you had a very busy schedule, but I want to ask you two more things. Can I have you stay just a few more minutes? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, Emma. One thing I wanted to talk about. You brought up something about the bidet out there. Some people are kind of apprehensive about a bidet. So I assume you may be a bidet user or used one before. Help us to not have the fear of a bidet. It's not going to harm us, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I was not a bidet user until the pandemic hit, and I started working on this final wipe idea. And I was like, well, I better get a bidet so I can test it. And honestly, like, I'm never going back. It's so good, you guys. It's like, it's such a game changer. They're totally affordable, and it's like, I'm sure the payback is pretty low because you spend a lot of money on toilet paper, where with a bidet, you use so much less, if any. And so it doesn't hurt. It actually feels really nice. And you end up quite a bit cleaner, I would say.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for helping us to not be scarred when it comes to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I really
don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid.
And then one other thing, when I read your story and followed you for a while, if I ever go into battle, I want to go into battle with you. You're like the OG ride or die. And the reason why I say that is you tugged on Superman's cape, which is Coca-Cola, and you didn't flinch. Talk about going up against Coca-Cola and having them take responsibility. You mind sharing that a little bit?
Yeah. So I talk a lot about extended manufacturer responsibility, which basically means that a company, everything that a company produces, they are responsible for. So, right now, the way the system is, like, Coca-Cola can produce whatever they want. So they make all of these, hundreds of billions of plastic bottles every year that then go out into our environment, pollute the environment. And then, taxpayers are cleaning it up. People are going out, doing it on their own. It's not an effective system. And what I like to encourage, and I speak about a lot, is that if instead companies were held accountable for their waste that they create and held to a higher standard. So if Coca-Cola had to clean up everything that they put out there, all of the trash, instead of it being a taxpayer problem, I bet you they would design better items. They would design things that were either meant to be reused or recycled and create a circularity in the economy that currently doesn't exist. So, yeah, Coca-Cola is the #1 producer of single-use plastics in the world. So we really focus on them as the potential case study that others could follow.
I love it, Emma. I love it, Emma. And it would have been a mic drop moment, Emma, when you was dealing with him. You should have said, "This is the real thing right here." That's what you should have told him in mic drop, and then walked off
next time
and just did your thing. All right. Before I let you go, how can people find out more information about Final Wipe, about all the amazing things that you guys are doing? Please share.
Yeah, so FinalStraw is on Instagram and Facebook at FinalStraw, also Twitter. And to check out Final Wipe, please go to Kickstarter, check out Final Wipe, and you can see videos and more information about it. And you can always visit our website if you want to contact us, and that's final.co. And our customer service team is right there, ready to respond. If you have any questions, ideas, suggestions, whatever, we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. And Emma, I just want to put something out there. Sometimes I give my little 2 cents when it comes to entrepreneurs out there and everything. So you have the Final Straw. Now we got to make an Ebonics version of the Final Straw. You know what the name of it is? The Final Scrawl. Because, that's how we talk in the hood. Great catching up with you, my dear. I look forward to talking to you again, all right?
I love it.
Take care.
Thanks so much for having me.
Cool. Oh, I enjoyed my talk with Emma Rose Cohen. She is just amazing. I'm telling you, y'all. Didn't you guys feel like me? If you're going into battle, you want to ride or die with her? I mean, she is so cool. I really enjoyed her insight and the way that she just, reinvented herself and her company to that Kickstarter campaign, y'all. I'm telling you, watch out. But she also gave some good advice out there for entrepreneurs, ones in the business world. Try to hang in there and just, hey, use that mind that you used when you created your business to see if there's something else out there that you can meet the needs if your business has been affected by COVID-19. All right, folks, I'm about to get out of here. So I'll talk to you on the next show. Remember, you can always connect with me, paulamadeouslane.com. Go to my website. Check out some pretty cool pics, stories about me. That's just vain, ain't it? Just go to my website if you want to connect with me. Thanks. Love you guys. Take care.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone. Wow.